Hey everybody, it's Kyle Van Voorst with Voorst.com, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to use LinkedIn for sales prospecting. Let's jump right in. In this video, we're going to cover how you should be leveraging LinkedIn for sales prospecting. I'm also going to talk a little bit about how to provide value to prospects. We'll discuss identifying and responding to triggers, and finally, how to sell without selling. My philosophy when it comes to LinkedIn is really geared towards providing as much value as possible and leveraging what are called triggers or actions that prospects take as a reason to reach out to them. The reason why I do this versus just sending them a message and pitching them is because I really want the perspective of the person that I may be working with to be very positive and value filled versus a quick conversion, and that causes a very sales type of environment. For me, my business and what I'm doing, I much prefer to provide value. Now, let's say you need quick conversions. I think you can do that kind of messaging and leveraging some other content out there. We have some materials about what types of messages you can send so you don't come across too salesy. But from my perspective, it should be done alongside with this long-term strategy so you don't have to rely on those quick conversion type tactics because they just don't produce the quality of appointment or quality of conversation that you need to convert at a really high level. So here's an outline of what I like to do. First and foremost, create content for your industry that you're selling into, not the role you do. A lot of sales reps make content about sales, but they sell to CFOs. That's counterintuitive. Create content for the industry you're serving. Become an industry expert. Number two, get your coworkers or some of your friends and family to engage with your content when you post it. This is a simple technique for helping LinkedIn or Facebook, all of the different social platforms, to use their algorithm to send that content to more people. Number three is engage with other industry experts in the comments. People love reading comments, even if they're not engaging themselves. So having a voice in the comments of other posts from industry experts can really position yourself as an authority in the space. And finally, when you do direct message people, ask an engaging question as opposed to time on the calendar. This is a simple way to open up a conversation and let that conversation naturally take you to a potential meeting. Now, this strategy requires posting often on LinkedIn, and you might be thinking, how do I do that? Well, there's the obvious one where if you have expertise, just post your expertise, give ideas, share tactics, whatever you can to engage people in conversation and provide value to them. But maybe you're not one of the world's best in a specific industry yet. So what do you do then? Well, it's very simple. Find expertise. If you work at an organization where the CEO has a lot of authority in the space, interview the CEO and use material from that interview as content for your own LinkedIn. If you don't have access to that, you can always look at conversations that are happening publicly on LinkedIn between other industry experts and summarize and share your thoughts that you got from reading that conversation. You could also do something like listen to a podcast and write a summary and post that on LinkedIn. There are a lot of ways that you can leverage other people's expertise to position yourself in a way to where you have authority in the space. Even if you're not the best in the world yet, it'll position yourself well within the target market. But more importantly, you're actually going to be engaging and providing value with your target buyers. And that is really how you create that goodwill and you provide value to them. Let's talk about identifying and responding to triggers. So triggers, like I said earlier, it's pretty simple. It's something that your potential customer has done. Maybe they liked one of your posts. Maybe they commented on one of your posts. Maybe they posted themselves. All of these are what I call trigger events. And trigger events are really just that, events that trigger you to reach out. So here's a common one. Let's say your prospect makes a post on LinkedIn. Pretty simple. You see that post, you can reach out directly to that prospect, shoot them an email or just message them on LinkedIn saying, hey, I saw your post about X, Y, and Z. Here are my thoughts. write a little bit about your thoughts, and then follow up with a question to engage them in conversation. As they engage in conversation, you can guide them to potentially meeting with you. Since you've provided value and you've engaged with their content, there's a lot of goodwill. And as long as the value you're providing aligns with some initiatives that they're working on, you're very likely to get a meeting on the calendar. Not all prospects post, so also keep in mind if they like your post or if they comment on your post or if they like a post of an industry expert or comment on their post, you can reach out to them and saying, hey, I saw that you liked Kevin's post about ABC, or I saw that you commented on Kevin's post, and I also agree, and here are some of my thoughts. Leverage their engagement with anybody in order to spark that conversation. And that's really how you're able to get meetings done. And remember, this the whole thing is that you have something of value to provide them. So if you don't have anything of value to provide them, you're not going to get meetings from this. But if you have a solution to a problem that they're experiencing and you build goodwill and you provide a lot of value, at the very least, it's worth it for them to have a conversation with you and build that relationship. Not all prospects are going to be posting on LinkedIn. So keep in mind, if they're liking or commenting on your posts, or they're liking and commenting on the post of industry experts, those are also trigger events. You can reach out and say, hey, I saw you liked this post, or I saw that you commented on this post. Here are my thoughts. I'd love to hear what you think. And that's enough to engage in a conversation. As long as you're providing a solution to a problem that they have, that conversation, you can guide that to a meeting on the calendar. But you have to come with value first. That's the key of all of this. In the spirit of value, how do you sell without selling? Well, the first one is obvious, by providing value. Industry expertise is the best way to convert attention into opportunities. Now, how do you catch attention? You provide value, because eyes go where there's something in it for them. So remember, provide as much value as possible to attract the attention of your target buyer. The second thing you can do here is ask questions. Don't just throw out times for them to book on your calendar. Don't send them calendar links. Ask them an engaging question. Get that prospect to open up and start talking to you, and you'll be able to convert that attention into a meeting on the calendar or some kind of sales conversation. Because remember, if they're not ready today, they'll tell you. And since you've already provided value and you consistently provide value throughout their time of knowing you, then when it is a better time for them to discuss your solution, they're going to reach out to you first. All right, everybody, those are some tips for prospecting on LinkedIn. Hope you enjoyed them. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below, like, subscribe. It really helps me grow the channel, and I look forward to talking to you soon.